Okay. Hope everybody's having a fabulous. Is it Wednesday today? I think it's Wednesday today. Um, I'm going to do a quick, my thoughts, not yours, on how to get started in this career. It is almost a daily question now, either on the socials or in the worlds that I operate in. Somebody's always asking me because the trades are now the new get rich quick scheme, which is absolutely not true. Um, how their kid should get started in the trade. I think it's great. I certainly have been asked more in the last year than I've ever been asked in my whole life how to get into this thing. And my answer is the same every single time. Um, you need to get into residential construction. New construction is where it's at, not renos. New construction. There's 4 or 5 companies in this town that focus solely on that and do really well at that and are successful and financially viable in those worlds, which is a trick all to itself. Um, but if you do that, then you get to handle the materials, you get to see how systems are run, you get to understand how they look behind the drywall and how they all interconnect. And the best way, once you have that sort of base understanding, and then you can take it back and understand how to service that stuff. So I've seen lots of guys try to get into service right off the bat, and it's a difficult, onerous way to go, just because the learning curve is steep. And when you're dealing with service, people want results immediately. They don't want some rookie in there trying to figure something out for the first time. So with residential construction, particularly if you're an apprentice working with a journeyman, then you'll have the opportunity to learn how that stuff works. And to be perfectly honest, and this will tick everybody off, um, everything, everything in residential construction is kindergarten plumbing, right? Like if you think that wet venting or stack venting or multi-story venting is uh, advanced plumbing, then you should stay there. Is my thoughts on that. But if you're interested in seeing where this trade can take you, that's the first step. There are uh, 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 people have other opinions on that, but my suggestion is always, always, always find a big residential company that will sponsor your first year or so. Probably give you a tool package that you can work off and get you into um, residential building. There's lots of that going on in Calgary right now. I do think that continues with the housing problems that we have. That's going to continue to be a viable market. And then once you've done that for a year or so, the next steps, in my opinion, are you should do residential service and then do some new commercial buildings and see how those work. And then the hydronic side is so brand new um, and changes every day. That's just a whole other world that you can mess with. I think it's hydronics is fabulous. It's come in my lifetime. We used to run the very first system I did. I was probably 26 or 27. So that's 30 years ago. We were putting in copper in the floor and running it in um, black steel, which is crazy. Was an onerous task, and now there's header. Like it's just every time, every trade show you see, there's actually some. It may be slight, but there's some new innovation. Anyway, there's the beautiful thing about the trade is there's so many avenues that you can pursue and so many things that you can decide to hang your hat on and be successful at. It's a very varied. There's a lot of wiggle room to sort of find your niche is what I think. But the starting point, in my estimation, has to be and ought to be new commercial or new residential construction. My thoughts, not yours. Have a blessed day. Good luck out there, everybody. Keep killing it, whatever you're doing.